Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Political Excess. Today, let's cover the primary results in Wyoming and Alaska, as well as that special election for the U.S. House seat up in Alaska. So let's get right into it and start in Wyoming. And let's take a look at that lone U.S. House seat, where incumbent Liz Cheney was defeated, as expected. She got about 29% of the vote only. Harriet Hageman is over 66%. So that is a pretty clear-cut, stinging defeat for Liz Cheney. Who knows what she'll do from this point? Maybe she'll make a comeback, but it does not sound like she's ready to ride off into the sunset just yet. So let's move on to the statewide races. And there's not really a lot to say here, but on the Republican side for governor, Mark Gordon, the incumbent, he won renomination with over 61% of the vote. So that's a wide margin, but that's more than just token opposition for Mark Gordon. He even lost a few eastern counties. But regardless, he's going to go on to beat whoever the Democrats have, and it is Teresa Livingston. She won nomination there. And for Secretary of State, it was an open seat, so there was competition, and the winner for the Republicans was Chuck Gray, still under 50% of the vote, but he beat Tara Nethercott with 41%. So let's move on to Alaska and take a look at that special election for the U.S. House. So the results we have right now with under 69% of the vote in, Mary Peltola Sattler, she is the top vote getter after the first round, 37.8% of the vote. Sarah Palin has 32.1, Nick Begich the third has 28.6. So once the rest of the vote comes in, whoever is in last place, right now it is Nick Begich, all of their votes will be reallocated into the other two candidates, and then one of them will be the winner. And since Sarah Palin did do worse against the Democrat Mary Peltola Sattler, it's not a guarantee Palin will win. This could be a close race because Palin is polarizing. It's also possible Nick Begich, he slips into second place by the time all the vote comes in. So that will be interesting to watch with this new voting system. And we can also take a look at the primary for the regular election for the new term that begins in January. And here we can see it is the same three candidates plus Tara Sweeney. She could get in this and move on to the general, as it is the top four vote getters that will move on. The percentages are similar with Mary Peltola Sattler, the leader again, just over 35% of the vote, followed by Palin and then Begich. Sweeney's all the way down at 3.6%. If she does maintain that spot, she'll easily be knocked off, and that 3.6% will go into probably mostly the other two Republicans. So gotta wait for the rest of the vote to come in before we jump to any conclusions. But we can also move on to the statewide races to see where those are at right now. And for governor, again with about 69% of the vote in, the current leader is Mike Dunleavy, the incumbent. He's at about 42% of the vote. Les Scar, the Democrat, is at 22%. Former governor, independent Bill Walker, is also just under 22%. And then another Republican, Charlie Pierce, is at just under 7%. So it's easy to jump to conclusions and say that, well, Mike Dunleavy, he's already at 42%. He should be able to get another 8% out of these other candidates. There's no guarantees. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But Mike Dunleavy does have the edge out of all these candidates. And finally, let's move on to that U.S. Senate race. The top four will move on to the general election, but everybody's focused on the top two. Incumbent Lisa Murkowski, she has 43.7% of the vote. Kelly Tshibaka is in second place with 40.4%. So again, it is close, and we have to wait for the rest of the vote to come in. On a glance, this does appear Lisa Murkowski is in a little bit better position to hold on. She was already probably slightly favored. Now it might be even a little bit more difficult for Kelly Tshibaka to be able to cobble together enough votes to get over 50%. So we'll see in the coming days, maybe even weeks, where the remainder of that vote is coming in from, how these final vote totals will change. But that is a look at where things stand right now in Wyoming and Alaska. So let me know if you have any comments on any of these races. Let me know down below. If you enjoy this channel, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.